All right. So now that we've talked about the two systems,
Right.
And we understand anorexia and how and that it is different.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about the research you guys did with bulimia, and what did you find?
Okay, well, so with bulimia then, what the assumption was, and that is what I would consider, and what we considered, although other people have all kinds of things that are the primary symptom, what we said the primary symptom probably is that you can't feel satiety, that you don't feel satiated. And why wouldn't you feel satiated? And some of that goes to that. I said that's got to be a neurological problem. And when I was a medical student, we spent some time on the emergency room, and I remember this lady came in and she couldn't breathe. Have I ever told you that?
No.
Well, it's just very. This was something that stuck with me a long time because she came in, she couldn't breathe because there was food in her throat, and it was pushing clear up into the windpipe. And the history was that she had eaten 5 chickens, as equivalent, but she didn't get full, so she didn't really realize she was overeating that much until the food actually kind of filled up clear into her esophagus and up to the epiglottis.
Push on the windpipe.
She actually got to the point where it was up to there, and that was a real emergency.
Well, yeah.
Of course.
Because you only have a little valve at the top there.
Well, that's it. It goes in and out.
Yeah.
And then once you fill it, it might as well, yeah.
And it opens. If it's stuck
that's why
open.
she came into the emergency room. And the only way they could get it out was he couldn't vomit or anything like that.
Why not?
Because it was too full. There wasn't anything. Okay. And there wasn't any way to actually get things into the stomach to irritate it or whatever.
What do you do?
You take a long pair of forceps and put her to sleep.
Yeah.
Open up her jaw and fish down in there and start
pulling out food.
Picking out the chicken. That's right.
Wow. But that person didn't have bulimia.
No.
But that got you thinking. You thought about that for years.
What my thought was,
why didn't she feel full?
She couldn't feel full. That's almost equivalent to saying, you put your hand on a hot barbecue and you don't feel it burn. Well, anyway, I immediately thought neurology.
Sure.
As a student, I said, because they were saying, well, there's probably psychiatrics and blah, blah, blah. And I said, and maybe even to them, but they didn't listen.
Yeah.
Sounds neurological to me. It's equivalent to someone touching a hot stove and not feeling it burn. I mean, the feeling of, that's going overboard about not feeling full.
So, this bothers me. They don't really listen to what the patients are saying. So if a patient comes in like that and says, well, I don't feel full, they just don't believe it.
Or something like that.
Instead of thinking, what would make a person...
How could that be?
How could that be that you really wouldn't feel full?
The way it would be is if you didn't, the nerves that went to the brain from the stomach weren't working.
Right. Okay, so
anyway,
that happened early in your...
Oh yeah, I was that long before I even thought about anything. I just remembered that when we started thinking about bulimia and thinking that satiety, and I said, well, I'll tell you that if you don't feel full, all bets are off about how much you eat.
Right.
And so that could be something wrong with not feeling full, and that's what bulimics report. They report that's universal. They report that they don't feel really full when they eat. But that's not why they vomit.